All right, Glen. Glen Lapolt. Jeff Weiss. Hi, folks. Glen.
Jeff.
Sir. Cheers. I have a seltzer's cheers. So, folks, we're starting our Cabin Challenge 2022 official podcast right here, right now. You're seeing it. Not exactly live, but we're doing it live. We have no script. We have no plans, just like the Cabin Challenge. So
we
Glen,
do intend to go live at some point.
Glen,
Yeah.
We are in the 11th year of the Cabin Challenge. Let's talk about that. What's going on? What's going on in 2022? This year's race. What's happening?
Well, first off, I'd like to welcome everybody to our first ever podcast. First of many, of course. We've signed a multi-episode deal with YouTube. So we're going to be here for at least a few weeks. Anyway, what's new this year with the Cabin Challenge? Well, you're going to get a lot of the same as we've had in the past, such as lots of agony on the hills.
I like it.
Lots of pain, lots of very unpredictable weather.
Nice.
Even more unpredictable hillbillies through certain sections of the course. You're going to get a great meal at the end of the ride. You're going to get fully equipped aid stations. You're going to get a hell of a swag bag. It's going to be a great ride. What's new this year? Well, Jeff, as you know, we have some new things. We're just not 100% sure what they all are yet. But one thing we do know is we're going to issue a new version of the course. We're not having 3 rides this year. We're doing 4.
That's
so
right.
We're going to do
3 rides is for weaklings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're doing the full Monty, which is the century. I think it's 103 miles, which that could be stretched out this year to 108, which would be nice. That's going to that's our signature. That's for the bold and the daring.
So go ahead. I'm coming back to that in a minute.
The original Cabin Challenge, or the Cabin Challenge. Now we're running the version we ran the last 2 years. It's going to leave from Morningstar and it's coming back to Morningstar. We're still under some pandemic restrictions at the traditional finish. We hope to get back there in the future. This could be our model going forward. But the Cabin Challenge ride, other than the Full Monty, is going to be the 78-mile version. Lots of hills, lots of pain, a little bit of everything for everybody. Nice. Then last year we had the Fondo. That's a 35-mile ride, scenic, not very hilly, through the farmlands of Stone Ridge and Kerhonkson. And this year we're having the Fondoose, which should do the Fondo ride twice. We sent out the survey and several people commented that they would like this added, something that was not too horrific in the hills, but something that was a little bit more tasty in the 50-mile range. So we're going to kind of do the Fondoose where you circle around out in the farm country. We'll come up with a cool course. Should be about 50 miles. So that's definitely new.
That sounds pretty cool. I'm psyched about that. I like the Fondoose. So kudos to whoever came up with that.
Sandy Ermo came up with that. Sandy Ermo and Mike Flannery.
Good job, guys. Good job, folks. Fondoose. I think that's going to be popular, dude.
I think the Fondoose is going to be really popular.
Yeah, because it's a ride. It's a good long ride, but there's a lot less pain involved.
Yep.
And that's cool. We want people to ride. Bottom line. Tell me about why 108. You said it's 108 miles. What's the significance of the 8?
Well, we want
extra
to
heat.
bring the whole point of the cabin challenge is to capture the essence of what the cabin is and what cabin country is all about. Now,
Yeah.
that's something we'll certainly address in future podcasts, but we want to take the riders on a unique cabin-esque experience where they traverse all the traditional stomping. One of those unstable situations, Jeff.
Yeah.
All right. Was I just cutting out there?
Yes, you were. I was just going to keep nodding along as if nothing was happening. And it's like kind of like look really interested. But
You know,
I'm sure everything you said was amazing. So keep
yeah,
going
it was.
because it might have recorded fine, but I just didn't hear it.
We have to also just address that we haven't been, we're still in our temporary quarters where this podcast is going to be housed and
Yeah.
where we're going to run
Right.
this. So I'm in my basement. It's kind of cold here. That's my headgear. Jeff's in much swankier digs up there in his
A
penthouse
castle.
somewhere.
A
So
tower. A
anyway,
castle.
the 8 miles, the extra, I want to take people out ideally, not only past the cabin to the original, the first cabin, the old
Yeah.
family homestead, and then back out again. That would be a truly unique cabin experience. And that puts it right about 108. And I would love to fashion a little bell at the entrance of the driveway of the cabin. So whoever got there could ring that bell to signify to all the locals around that the cabin challenge was coming through. And then they would make the return journey, something along those lines. So that's why it's 108 miles.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
That's
that's
really
pretty cool.
cool. I think the
Yeah.
bell is a nice touch, especially
Yeah,
because it might rile some locals to just like come after you with like a shotgun or call the police. So I think it'd be fantastic to have either
Jeff,
one of those two things
yeah,
happen.
I'm a big fan of stuff that makes zero sense, but might or might not add to the ride. Like we experiment. We're not afraid to, like, you know what? We thought we'd deliver a bagpiper last year. Who didn't like a bagpiper?
I don't know. He was great.
The neighbors that I had when the bagpipe guy was trying to warm
That-
up the pipes at 6 o'clock in the morning. They didn't like the bagpipe.
I think it's the massive bell in your front yard that might have ticked off the neighbors going off for 2
Big
hours.
fan of the bell. The bell will be tolling again.
Yeah.
And
let's talk about the bell. Tell people about the bell.
We got a bell. It's a bell from about 1790. Somehow my Weiss family procured it from a firehouse in, I think it was Waterloo. And my mother-in-law moves, and she had
the Battle of Waterloo, but like Waterloo, New York.
I can't listen. I don't think it was from the Battle of Waterloo, but I have no proof that it wasn't.
Okay, are you saying it might have been from Waterloo?
It probably wasn't. It was from the town of Waterloo.
I got you.
But
I ruined that story, but it would
it's
have
all
been
right.
If people thought.
So we have the bell, and the riders left. We rang the bell. My neighbors, they get used to it. A lot of stuff goes on over here at the Cabin Challenge headquarters. So
nice video of the first group going out last year with the bell tolling.
Yeah.
And it was quiet. There was a little bit of fog in the air, if you remember. It was super early and a little chilly. And it was like it was a really nice touch to kind of that silent, and all you hear is the close up of the sort of.
Do you have that video, Jeff?
Moving. Yeah.
That's a video that these viewers of this podcast would love to see. So we're gonna, we have a Cabin Challenge YouTube channel. We're gonna start putting videos that are on the emails and other videos when the Jeff just mentioned. So we're gonna start putting that. So I'd love to get that up there.
That's great. I like that.
Let's get that this year we're not gonna do a bagpiper, but we are gonna have another surprise, a musical surprise.
All right.
You're gonna have to wait, but when you see it, you might be frightened, but that's all I'm going to say.
All right.
We like to keep people. We listen. I'm not.
It's not a bunch of Mel students, like 14-year-olds, like farting out, arm farting out the jingle bells or something, right?
No, but that sounds pretty cool too, especially if they did it for free.
Well, especially if they did it for free.
Yeah.
Like that.
So what else we got? So that's the really new thing, the new ride. We'll be back here. Same thing. We'll have 4 different groups leaving at 4 times, hopefully coming back to the finish around noon or 1 o'clock. We'll have a nice banquet where, of course, we give out our traditional hardware. Well, we got the King of the Mountain, Queen of the Mountain, and the Cabin True Grit, which the King of the Mountain and the Queen of the Mountain plaques have been redone. So they're pretty much finished. I can unveil those. Yes, they've been redone, and all
right,
we ran out of space. The race, the race is so popular. We're putting names on there for these prodigious feats of strength that we ran out of room. So now we made all new plaques.
Wow.
Yeah, Brennan Woods and Krista Pachomsky, they came through and designed the plaques, and we had one of my next door neighbors put the final touches on it. I'm going to put the nameplates on, and those are going to be, unveiled in an upcoming episode.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
I know the Queen of the Mountain was running out of room.
Yeah.
Have you retained the historical, the names that have come before?
Yep, we got everything, man. It's looking good. So
and where they use these are posted, folks, typically in the town of New Paltz at the Main Street Bistro. But we're looking for a new home because the bistro is up for sale. Our buddy Doug, he's looking to sell the bistro, an amazing staple of our town, and move on into bigger and better things. So right on for Doug. Hope he sells it. It's an amazing place. And
we have a new home.
Find a new home.
We do. We have
tell the people.
They're going to be at P&G's. Also long time Cabin Challenge sponsors have graciously
awesome.
They're willing. They're pretty excited about letting us display them at
P&G's.
P&G's.
I hope a bunch of students don't puke all over them, man.
No, they got to be mounted on the wall. And I was talking to Mike the other day, and he said, just make sure we lag these in the wall because the kids are going to steal them.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm not going to lie. I spent probably a fairly significant portion of my life in P&G's, and I often stole stuff that was there. So I apologize to the owners and staff of P&G's.
I mean, I might have stolen something from a bar before, but I wouldn't put it past a 22-year-old Jeff to be like, that's coming home with me tonight.
I wouldn't put it past a 50-year-old Jeff. So
no
they're going to be. So we got a spot when you go in the door. They're going to be mounted right in the door. So you're going to walk in. When you walk in that first door, that new entrance, bam! They're right there. You can't.
Right there.
It'll be impossible not to see them when you walk in.
Nice.
And they'll definitely be eye catchers. And I'll put up a little something telling everybody what the ride's about. So as everybody knows, we go. Registration starts on March 15th. The Ides of March. That's the day. Don't make a bad decision like Caesar did on the Ides of March. You make sure you register for the Cabin Challenge. We're anticipating selling out within the first probably 72 hours. And
what are we doing this year? What's the threshold? 65 riders?
65, 70 maybe. Depends how many people that we know don't register in time and then start calling. I'd like to keep it steady around 65.
Yeah. Well, look, folks, I mean, you got to You don't want to be in debt to Glen when you're trying to get in the cabin challenge. Put it that way.
Yeah. We have a very, I know some races have a comp spot, which we have a comp spot too here at the cabin challenge, but it might not be the comp type of situation that you're expecting.
Yeah. It doesn't
the
sound.
Cabin.
It's dangerous.
Things happen at the cabin. Let's just leave it at that. There's usually some sort of initiation, some sort of rite of passage that's involved with you being late registering. So just be ready on March 15th.
Right,
Another
March 15th,
thing,
folks.
So we have some merchandise going up for sale again. You could tell by these swanky sweatshirts and these nice towels I have in the background. We have great merch here, the Cabin Challenge, and we are putting it up for sale again. We are going to be selling riding jerseys, both long sleeve and short sleeve jerseys. We're selling awesome winter caps that are going to have a patch.
I'm psyched on the winter cap.
Yeah, the Cabin Challenge logo is going to be embroidered, into the hat. The patch will be sewn on the hat. And we're offering those same awesome t-shirts that we give away that everybody seems to say they love them so much. We're offering those up for sale in a large, or not a large, in a long sleeve.
Long sleeve.
So that's cool. That's what we're doing.
Large.
Yeah. One size. So that's what we're doing with that. So we got that's going to be on the website. So basically you're going to be able to get on the website within the next 24 hours and buy merchandise. And but you can't register for the ride until the 15th. What else?
You can buy stuff if you're not going to ride. If you can't make it and you're want to buy the merch, you can actually go on and still buy a jersey if you want it or whatever. Whatever we got.
I mean, you could buy as much as you want and liberally disperse all this merch to your friends and family. And there's nothing stopping you. So feel free, buy as much as you like, and Christmas is right around the corner. I'm sure that the kids would love a nice winter cap, this Cabin Challenge, and I think they would also like a long sleeve shirt. And you know what?
Yeah, if
they don't ride a bike right now, you should probably get them started, and then you might as well get the jerseys ahead of time. So
by now. Are they the same jerseys as before? Because I bought one that was too small, and it was like a one-time order when we first did the short sleeves, and so the one I have is it doesn't work. So my Tylene is wearing that, my wife, and she's like, "This is great, it fits me perfect." So now I'm out of a short sleeve Cabin Challenge jersey. I have my long sleeve, which has this really great liner in it. But I can't wear that. I can't wear that on a gravel ride in the summer, because even though I am barely mediocre by local gravel riding standards or even road riding, still gets kind of hot. I work up a sweat. I mean, what can I say? I'm not that good, but I do what I do.
Yes, Jeff. The short answer to that question is the jerseys are the same.
Okay.
But I'd like to also address the fact that you ordered a small. And
no, what was I thinking?
I was actually going to talk you out of ordering a small, but I didn't, because I knew there would be a time in the future that I was going to be able to razz you about ordering a small.
About getting fat.
The time is here right now.
It totally deserved. When I tried them on, that was the other thing. We were able to go to the bike rack in New Paltz and try on the merch before you bought it. And I tried on a medium, but the ones you said it to me. You were like, "Jeff, remember, the ones you try on are being tried on a lot. So if it's a little bit big, then don't worry, because it's not brand new." And I was like, "No, the small fit me better." And I'm skinny, but I'm not that skinny. Still got a little winter build up there.
We're doing that. We're doing that again. Kurt from Vi 13 is going to be bringing the jersey samples down to long-time sponsor, the Bike Rack, and you can stop in there. You should try on the jerseys. Feel free to buy merchandise from Mike. Talk to Mike. He's great.
Mike
Kilmer,
Bike rack.
unbelievable person. So those jerseys should be there, the samples to try on within a few days.
Yeah.
The jerseys are great. The winter jerseys, I didn't have one. I bought one for myself, but then I somehow botched the merchandise order and I sold it to somebody. But I really wish I had one because they're sharp. I wouldn't mind having one now in this basement. I'm not going to lie to you, Jeff. It's a little chilly down here. But, the jerseys are great.
I think I'm wearing my jersey next time I go cross-country skiing. I'm going to try some skate skiing, I think, on Wednesday. I'm going to rent some skate skis because I went skiing this weekend and I thought, or last weekend rather. And I was like, I had a bigger jacket on and I thought something warmer would be better. And I think that long sleeve jersey with the liner in it would be nice. So
I think it'd be great.
Maybe I'll get another one.
Let me know how the skate skiing goes.
It's probably going to be kind of ridiculous looking, but I want to try it. It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Really fun. Yeah.
So the Cabin Challenge, lots of new stuff happening. Some of the old stuff, really excited about it. Things are coming along. There'll be some different merch in the bag this year. Great meal afterwards. Lots of camaraderie. So let's talk maybe about your training. Why don't you get at it? I know, I'm not going to, just because I'm here talking doesn't mean the tone is going to change. You're all weak. You're weak. Not you necessarily, the rest of the viewers. I mean, they're weak.
I know. We're talking to royally.
Sitting around, doing nothing, drinking their lattes. And then they're going to be complaining, running in the bike rack, asking Mike to put on like 5 new gears so they could cycle up a hill because I couldn't get on their bike at all. And guess what? Let me just break it down to you. This is back to the old school Cabin Challenge. It's Memorial Day. You're not going to have all through May and all through June and July to train. You're going to get hit in the face pretty quickly by the Cabin Challenge come Memorial Day weekend.
That's a really good thing to note.
Yeah.
Last year, it was in August. And there was a whole new side of the coin, which was it's going to be too hot. We have to leave earlier. I'm scared. I need a hug. All that was happening. But Glen is there for you folks. But
anytime they want a hug, I'm there.
This year,
anytime.
This year is back to May, end of May. And it's a good point. You don't have you got to get out in the cold and ride on the road. I think that's the important part to note.
It's an important part. We'll put together some training rides. Now, let's just talk a little bit about the weather. We've had extremes. So there was the one Memorial Day where it was 95 degrees. It set records for temperatures and the real feel. It was horrible. People were strewn all over the Blue Monster. They were decimated. People were like choking down
everywhere,
tablets, walking up the street with bare feet. I don't even know what was going on. It was a wreck. And
we have a picture of a certain bicycle store owner walking up the hill in his socks.
Yeah.
Not going to name any names.
Yeah.
But we might have. Yeah, he's a good friend of the Cabin Challenge.
That happened. Then the black flies were out. And that was just horrible. But let's take it to another year. The 3rd edition of the Cabin Challenge saw snow on Memorial Day weekend in the high Catskills, and it was horrible. Now, this is back in the early days of the Cabin Challenge. So we left to start. It was, 40 degrees and rain. And, I knew things were going to go bad. And they did. And halfway up the Blue Monster, the snow was flying. By the time we got up to What the Fuck Hill, which is that hill after the Blue Monster, when you're close to death, and all of a sudden there's that other.
Everyone is exclaiming,
"What the fuck?" That's like another mountain was sticking off the mountain.
Yeah.
And when we got to the top of that, there was 3 inches of wet snow, and we almost lost some people that day. We had a couple hypothermic people. It was pretty scary, actually. And that's actually what made me decide to insure the ride. Up until that point, we didn't have any insurance. And I said to myself, we got to have this ride insured. So there you have it. So there's some good came out of it. But expect the unexpected. heat, hillbillies, snow, cold, black flies, gun-toting locals, random gunshots bursting through the woods. I mean, it gets pretty
That's
crazy up in
happened. That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a
That's
real
happened.
thing. You
With
know,
gunshots.
and
So really quick, two stories, two quick things about what you just shared. You know, I heard that year Doug ended up doing Doug Thompson, local legend, did an unintentional double or an out and back of the cabin challenge because he started out that year, I think, where he ran into the snow. He left later than the group. So he was going to try to catch everyone or at least meet you at the end. He got out there, got lost, and had to turn around. He just said whatever, and he rode all the way back home.
yeah.
Is that like a myth, or is that
no? That's not a myth. That's the real thing. So Doug leaves later than everybody else. Wasn't sure how to get to the cabin, and I gave him directions. And they were actually quite good directions. And I actually told Doug I will have my kids out at the end of the driveway. Now that hill right before the cabin is
this is when it ended actually
at the cabin. Right. And that hill was, which we would let people cycle up too. When we would do the cabin challenge, we would make them go up and turn around at the driveway. Yeah, and that's a horrible hill. Yeah. But I was like, I will have my kids at the end of that driveway, and they were out there all day, except the time they walked back to the cabin, which was a quarter of a mile down the driveway to get something to eat. That's just when Doug cycled by, and Doug was lost. He had no idea where he was. And for those of you who ride in the Catskills up around the cabin country, there is no cell service. So next thing he went down the Blue Monster, and he rode home.
Wow.
And he left me a voicemail, which as I was circling around the top of the mountain, I did have a window of cell service. I did get a phone call from Doug. And he was like, "Hey, man, where's the cabin? I'm so cold out here." And I was like, holy shit, Doug's going to die. And my kids were actually crying. They were like upset. So I was like, look for a really fancy road bike against one of these trailers, because these cabins up in cabin country. I'm like, needless to say,
find a frozen Doug underneath one.
Locals up in cabin country find a half dead guy wearing spandex. Nothing good is happening.
It's a bad story.
Nothing good is going down there. So anyway, but Doug got home safely.
He made it. So that's also the year that I think that's right around the time that I started swimming with you at Masters, and I saw you in the grocery store, you and Mel, and you were like, "Jeff, I put this ride together every year, and we're gonna ride this weekend, and I want you to come." And I was like, "Oh wow, man, I'd like to ride with these guys. That sounds cool. Glen's got this whole crew going out. It sounds amazing." And I came home and I was telling Tylene, she's like, "Jeff, it's supposed to snow this weekend. You sure, you really want to do that?" I was like, "No, not really. But no, I don't want to say no, So I think I bailed that morning and was so thankful.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because it looked horrible. It looked terrible. But in retrospect, it would have been a great story to tell. So,
well, we could have used your manpower as we were literally carrying a half frozen rider back to the cabin. Was that Ed Stoner? You weren't there, so the rest of us just worked a little harder. Got a little cold.
I let you down. Got a little cold. Sorry, guys.
So
Glenn, we're almost at our half hour, dude. So what should we have? Any final thoughts? We're gonna come back in a couple like a week or so, or
we'll be back in a week. So basically, we're gonna put stuff up on a YouTube channel for you to watch. And I'm gonna send you the link. And when you're hearing this, you already have the link. It's the magic of the cloud.
Boom.
I think that's what the cloud does. I don't know what the cloud. No one even can tell me what the cloud does. Don't even get started.
You know what the cloud is, Glenn? I'm going to say it here. The cloud is just someone else's. It's just another person's computer. That's all the cloud is. It's just a bank of computers in a warehouse. There's no cloud. It's just someone else's computer. But anyway,
so
that's the next podcast. We'll talk
the
about the
videos
cloud.
will be up linked there. There'll be a lot of stuff for you to watch, some training stuff, some videos that we make, some things Jeff and I are going to talk, like, things to get you through the winter doldrums, your top 5 cycling books, maybe some cycling movies. Listen, Jeff and I have been hard at work. I don't know what the rest of you have been doing, but we've watched at least, I think, 173 movies this year. We have our top 5 cycling movies ranked, which we're going to bring to you. We've also read, I don't know, between the two of us, at least 300 books on cycling this year, at least. And we have our top 5 cycling books. Maybe you dispense this to you. So this could be quick little videos we make. There'll be another podcast out in a week or two.
We'll do some 15-minute ones, some half-hour ones.
Yeah, totally.
It's going to be hilarity. It's going to be inspiration. And everyone who watches this is going to be like, I'm riding the Cabin Challenge. It's going to be an amazing ride. Good swag, good food, good people.
We're going to start raffling stuff off on the podcast. So previous riders, we're going to have a drawing where you might win some Cabin Challenge swag even before the race starts.
It's like a biblical scroll of tickets. Just like, boom.
So these tickets, a little story about these tickets today. It was a 50-50 run by the boys varsity swim meet.
All right.
And for those of you who know me, I have a system for 50-50, and I do pretty good. So they put the pressure. I was pressured by these ladies to do the 50-50. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money on me because I didn't want to be hit up by my kids for the vending machine. So I thought I was pulling.
You hit him up like Wimpy from.
Yeah, so they were like, how about a 50-50? They peer pressured me, and I will own it. I could be pressured into doing a lot of things, and so they're like, we take Venmo. Hey, Mel's got Venmo, so bam, I got
Mel's money.
That's right. I sent Mel a text during the swim meet, and I said, "Can you please Venmo for the 50-50 raffle I bought," which I didn't win, but we're going to. Actually, I did win because I didn't have to pay, but well, Mel's paying, but. We're going to start doing a raffle on this Cabin Challenge and raffling off merch. And we're going to start bringing you some guests. So we're going to start bringing guests in here that could talk to you about the Cabin Challenge and other type of things. So we got a variety of stuff, so registration, March 15th, start riding your bike inside or outside. 4 versions this year: the Fondo, the Fondoose, the Cabin Challenge, and the Full Monty. We got all kinds of stuff, the same stuff. I mean, it's just going to be an amazing year. Very excited about it. Jeff, do you have any final words you'd like to add?
If you're seeing this for the first time, cabinchallenge.com. All this information is going to be on there. If you want to read more about the race or the ride, we should call it. Cabinchallenge.com. That's it. And the registration will be on Bike Reg. And it'll also be linked. You can also link to it from the website, cabinchallenge.com.
There'll be another email, a brief email going out with this link on it and some reminders. I do like writing the emails, and hopefully most of you or many of you like to read them. And
they're great emails.
We'll update you about some stuff, but we just felt we wanted to branch out a little bit here. So again, thanks for listening, and we'll be back.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.